In this episode, I'm going to share with you 6 winter tips from 6 different fishing channels.
Hello everyone, I'm Phil Rowley and I'm coming to you from Alberta, Canada. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about winter fishing, but our winter fishing's a little different because from November to mid or early April, our lakes are typically frozen solid, covered with ice, so there's no open water fishing. But when that ice comes off, those fish are still in winter mode. The water temperatures are cool. Due to winter stratification, the fish are in the shallows because that's where the oxygen is. So we're going to be fishing skinny water. So floating lines and strike indicators or bungs is what we use most often. Fish are just not going to chase their food down much because they're still coming to that winter slumber and they won't move much. We're going to imitate the food sources they've seen most often during their winter slumber, and that's chironomid larvae or bloodworms, zooplankton, we'll use blobs for that, balanced leeches, scuds, maybe some juvenile dragonfly nymphs. But again, we're moving these flies slowly. When you're fishing with indicators, you never want to cast too far because you got to watch that indicator for subtle takes. And when it's really cold, that indicator may just slide left or right or go half down. Probably it won't even get pulled under because they're eating so lethargically, and that's what's needed to be successful. Keep your leaders between your indicator and your fly level. This ensures that your fly sinks to the depth you set it at. If you use a tapered leader, the leader sinks at differing rates along its length due to the differing thicknesses. So keep that leader level so once you find that feeding zone, you can target it again and again. Hopefully these tips help you out and you can get some enjoyment out of your winter fly fishing as well.
Hi folks, Tim Joyce, Fly Fishing Essex, with my top tip for winter small water fishing. In a nutshell, buzzers. Not to be ignored, a food source that's always available to the fish, even through the thickest of the winter months. The trout will be quick to switch on to an isolated hatch, and it makes for some great sport, some alternative sport to the usual fare of pulling lures throughout the winter. You're looking at the sheltered end of the lake, the end of the lake that's had the least wind action on it, the end of the lake that's been exposed to preferably a bit of sunshine, just to warm that water up half a degree or so. It will start the buzzer hatch off and the fish will go looking for them. Approach it as you would normally, straight line, washing line, little team of buzzers, or probably throughout the winter, indicator, size 10 red buzzer on the point, some sort of bloodworm pattern, and then 2 smaller buzzers, size 14s up the droppers, crisp packets or quills. It can be extremely effective during the winter months and a great alternative for pulling lures. Definitely worth a go. Give it a try, give you a bit of variety to winter fishing.
Hi guys, my name's Lindsay Simpson and Rhys has asked me to give you one of my still water top tips. So here it is. Now the bung is a really effective way of fishing still waters, there can be no argument with that. A lot of people don't like to do it and sometimes it is quite restrictive. You're fishing at a prescribed depth. So what I like to do when I'm not quite sure where the fish are in the water column is I fish a small weighted fly. Now I'm here at Powder Mills today and there's a lot of Daphnia in the water, so I've got this blob with a little 2.5mm tungsten bead on just to sink it. Now what I do is I cast out and I count in my head anything between 5 and 10 seconds to allow the fly time to sink through the water column. Now all the time I'm watching my line all the way along its course, looking for any kind of indication that a fish has taken the fly on the drop. When I get no result from that, a very quick figure of 8 will bring the fly up in the water column, and then I pause everything again, making sure I've got a tight line to my fly. And very often, when the fly is dropping back down through the water column, that's when the fish will take. I hope this tip's been useful to you and you enjoy the rest of Rhys's video.
Right, what's happening lads? Jerry, Rhys's dad Wadley here. As I'm known, my winter tip would be to start off on the fisheries using bright colours. Check with the fishery owners to see what sort of stocking policy they got and see what sort of mix is in the lake. So if you've got a pile of fresh fish and a pile of older fish, try to target the fresher fish first. My favourite colours are the canary, the orange, bright greens, really something in your face that'll get them going. If they don't work, doesn't mean that you're not on fish. just means that you could be on older fish. So change from your bright colours to your pastels. These will take the fresh fish as well as the older fish, but what you'll find is that the older fish would have seen all the bright colours, so you want to go just a little bit paler. These tend to be the colours that I would go to on the day. So that's my winter tip. Vary the colours, mix it up so you're using the bright colours and the pastel colours, and that's my winter tip for you.
Hi, welcome. Still water trout fishing in the winter can be spectacular, but obviously it depends on water conditions as well. At times you get adverse conditions where it's been raining for 2 days and windy, and the lake becomes very cloudy with visibility just down to 6 or 8 inches. You have to change your tactics for this. The fish won't take flies fast. You need to get in the window where they can actually see it, so you need to fish very slowly. Colours of flies in dirty water are normally, which productive, are black, chartreuse and fluoro pink. My approach is a midge tip line or a slow intermediate, 3 flies, small snake on the point unweighted, small zonker in the middle, and a cormorant on the top dropper or a dial back. Fish these, cast them out, fish these very slow figure of 8, pausing it, or very short 6-inch pulls. Get to the edge if you haven't had a fish. Hang the flies, it's mega important, even more than when the water's clear, and then just jiggle it at the edge. You'll be surprised how many fish take it in the margins. So give it a go. You need the fish to see your flies. Keep it slow and you'll catch fish. Thank you.
So, tips for the winter and winter fishing. And we're coming into winter proper now, and my tip for fishing in the winter, especially for grayling at this time of year more than any other time of year, is wait. So people go on about fly selection. Now this is just a typical nymphing box. As you can see, absolutely rammed to the gunnels with everything. Small beads, no beads, heavy beads. But nothing too heavy, because these are my fishing flies. My actual bombs, the ones that I get these flies down to the grayling to catch them, are completely different. So this is what I mean by bombs. Now you see I've got little ones here, a 4.5mm bead, and then I've got jig backs, and then I've got a 3.5 and a load of lead underneath. And here I've got a selection. These are all 3.5mm beads. So you've basically got 12 mil of tungsten, and in these cases sometimes 15 mil of tungsten. And if I'm not competition fishing, I use these things. This is preloaded lead bombs basically, and they're based to look like caddis, but these are the bombs, and these are the flies that I use, or these are the flies that I tend to use to make sure that I can get these flies, the pretty things, down to where the grayling are feeding. So there you go. When it comes to fishing for grayling in winter, these fish are shoaled up and they're right near the bottom. In order for you to catch these fish that are feeding right on the bottom, you need those big bombs. Your other flies fishing above, they can have 2mm, 3mm beads. Sometimes I fish with no weight whatsoever. If you've not got those bombs, you can't get down and catch those grayling. That's my winter tip. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to my channel.
And there you go. So if you found this at all helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And if you want to follow any of these channels, I will leave links to their channels in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.